the fact that I'm a man does not mean I should die.
How many women will lose their husband and they will want to go to their husband's brother?
If you see somebody accepting something, they have their deep down reasons that they'll never talk about. Tradition thrives on people's choices.
Many of the time we are just talking about just the tradition. We don't even know what widows go through.
What was that they said about marriage? It's an institution that God himself established for us to grow, procrastinate, procreate.
A fruitful and multiply.
How can I dress with so much tease and composure and my English is not teasing and composing? Oh my God. You see, Yoruba is not, English is not my father's language.
Then you.
Alright, lay your route. Take it up. Let's take it away. Let's take it away from. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Fly, Papi J.
They just give up Papi J.
Papi Sam here, and again would ensure that you go home with something from this conversation, a life lesson, what you can roll with. And our goal is to have a happy family on all sides. It's a different angle to the conversation today, and I'm sure that you'll have a great time. Papi Sam here.
How can you speak good English like that? God, please, enemy of my progress. Village people, may I not be shamed.
All in all, as we all know, that family is what we deal with. You know, we deal with challenges in the family. We talk about it. We give solutions, and we tend to learn, like people to learn from it, and also different things happen in the home. How you met your baby girl, Queen B, on this show.
I'll take my intro again. All right. Okay. So, Emperor.
I mean, this topic, marriage or family, we cannot. It cannot be exhausted. There are different type of things that happen at home that could go well or go wrong. So we all belong to different families, and we have been enjoying ourselves in the past couple of episodes, talking about different family issues. Yeah, that's the focus of this season. So we are here again to have another engaging discussion. So stay tuned.
You not mention your name.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, we have a very fantastic guest in the house. He's going to join us as a chatter now because we don't want to. Because by the time we enter into the discussion, you forget that he's a guest. All right. So he's joining us for the very first time, and he's going to be the one to introduce himself. Our guest in the house.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
We are happy to see you because we are happy
Family.
Please go on, sir.
Okay, such a unique program like this must be associated with, like we have all said, the family is key. I mean, the bedrock of a society is the family. You have a good family, you have a good society. You have a good family, you have a good nation. So family is everything, right?
That's it, man.
And I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be part of this conversation.
Did you mention? Has he mentioned his name?
My name is Sheyi.
Oh, okay. Welcome. All right, so we'll go on this break. When we come back, we get it all started. Please don't change. All right, so welcome back to Happy
Family.
Wait, I thought you avoid eating amala and we do and baby and everything. What's going on?
We resolve now.
What's going on?
Happy family.
Alright, so Emperor, what are we talking about today?
Well, I saw something on the social media, and this thing confused me. Now, so one of my brothers, he said, forget fame.
I don't know where.
He said, forget fame. If you marry Yoruba girl, she go carry your mind, come out for your
Can
fame.
you
Hey!
imagine?
Wow.
Hey!
Apologies to all the Yoruba
How
ladies
true is
at
that?
home. So, what we are going to be examining
Wow.
today is what is the role of tribe in marriage.
In marriage.
Does tribe play any important, significant role in marriage? Or men, there's nothing called tribe. Let's do it.
I think we have to start from our guest. So, what do you have? What's your insight about this topic?
This topic is interesting. It's interesting. The role of tribe is very, very significant in marriage because, I mean, in a marriage relationship, two people are coming from different backgrounds, and the success of their marriage will depend on where they're coming from, the culture the individuals brought in, you know. So it's important that we don't downplay the role of tribe. However, I think love is more important. Love conquers.
Love is blind.
Love conquers all things. I was watching on the television yesterday after the news, and someone from the southeast got married to someone in North Central, a Kogi person and an Igbo person. And I was watching that. How did this happen? You know, and in the marriage you see northern Nigerians coming with their regalia, the Fulani regalia, and the Igbo people dressing in their cultural way.
Yes.
And
It's a super story.
It's a super story.
you could see love there. Some people may be skeptical that what is going to become of this relationship, but I bet to argue that once there is love, tribe does not really matter. I mean, you can have two people from, of course, this is my perspective, you can have two people from the same cultural backgrounds and they will still have problems.
Definitely.
A lot.
They will still have problems.
Most homes that break, I'm sure they are from the same cultural background.
I think once there is maturity, once there is true love, once there is mutual respect, the home can grow. I want to rest my case for now.
All right, so we don't rest our case here, so because we are coming to you, you know, I think before I got married, you know, there is this some specifications that my parents gave me.
Hey.
Because I get to say, we are coming.
With specifications.
Yes, so
Yeah,
you know,
there are parents like that they
You-
feel like because they've known beyond. So I don't want my daughter, I don't want my son
To
get
marry
married to
yes,
this
okay.
particular state.
I know there are some cultural background in Nigeria that they are human eating.
Yeah,
They are
They eat human.
what do they call it? Is it
living.
carnivorous? They are
Carnivores.
carnivores, yes.
Carnivores.
Yes,
You know, they are carnivores there, and then you know, you marry into that kind of community, and you want to.
Which
You end up being in pepper soup.
There is
No,
though.
yeah,
Maybe
there
most of
is.
those
I don't want to
things
mention,
are-
but I think they are.
Yeah, they actually.
They are also there in the past.
In the
In the
past.
past, no.
No.
Wait,
sir,
are you
they
telling
are
me,
not.
sir, that people that in the
Even
past, all
now.
of them have died, finish?
Even now.
There is still one time about bad time about
the reason why I said
Nobody
the reason why I
talk.
said- the reason why I said it happens now because my dad once shared a recent story that his friend, I think his friend's son, like stayed there. So getting married to the daughter over there, if not for God and you know the love that some of the brothers in that family have for him, you know they were preparing for the wedding and you know they actually bought this what is it called? Is it this iron drum? You know, prepare
cook it.
sincerely boiling water, and you know they were greeting him in their language, and he was responding. He was even happy that they were preparing for
I think it's an old
marriage.
story.
No, it's not. It's a recent one.
I think
Not
you just
old.
had it recently, but
Yeah,
it's
you should
an
have heard
old
of that.
story.
Really?
Yes, I've heard of it before, but I heard of it when I was probably 10 years old. All right.
Wow.
So I think Papi Sam has an opinion about this topic.
Yeah, so when it comes to, it just really occurred to me that even within the same tribe, there are peculiarities. For example, some people that different within the same tribe of Yorubas. You said don't marry Egba, don't marry Ijebu,
Ijebu.
don't marry. So I think it's just a mindset that our people has had. due to, let me say it like this, it's a traumatic mindset. Maybe they've had some bad fallout, some people, and they just generalize that these people are bad people. Maybe every one of them may not be that bad. And there's also a case where the parents will groom their children from when they are small to tell them, you cannot marry from this tribe. You know, someday you grow up to marry, you cannot marry from this tribe. And then the children would in turn follow suit. I had a friend that the dads held a meeting with the children and told them, this tribe cannot marry from them. And they all did marry from the tribe, you know. And he explained why. But then I just feel that it has more negative impact than positive impact. If you was there, marry anybody you want to marry, live your life. But then they might have reasons that are genuine. That maybe during their time it affected them. But now it may not be an issue. But I feel that if that would even happen, if you don't want your children to marry from a particular tribe, talk about it early enough to them. If you have an issue, express it. Don't let it be that after you have now gotten married, you are now having issues in your marriage because you marry from a tribe. But from the sake of peace, marry from wherever you want to marry from the scratch and have a happy family.
Let me put it to you. Can you marry from anywhere? Can you marry from any tribe?
My wife is from North Central. I'm a Yoruba boy.
North Central, Kogi?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
well, that's still Yoruba. Is that not Yoruba speaking?
No, Yoruba.
Kogis are not.
No, it's
not
all
all.
exactly
They
so.
are Yorubas.
They are not all Yorubas.
Not all.
Is it not Kogi that we have a
Not all.
bureau?
Okun people.
Yes. So we have the Okun people that are Yorubas,
Yeah,
the
Yoruba.
Yagba
We are
people and all
some,
that. So it's not always, it's not even, you know, state is a geographical something.
I don't even
So
know
they will say that
geography.
in Kogi, there are three branches: the Igala,
Igala.
the Ebira, and
Yeah,
the Ogun
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But same. You see the same thing. It's still Kogi because when you look at their cultural difference to us, there's a lot of differences in it. At least I'm married from somewhere there. But the truth of the matter is, when you, what's that word now? When you marry with the right intentions on both sides, I think you will just be good.
So I like this topic very much, and I will be sharing a personal experience,
Okay.
you know, on this topic. You know, because I like sharing, you know, personal experiences
Yes.
because this is not like a movie. It's unscripted. It has happened. We have seen the beginning. We have seen the end.
Yeah.
We can really say that, okay, analyze it today objectively. All right. So a wise man once told me that love is blind, but marriage will open
your eyes.
Yes,
you open your eyes. There is a peculiarity of marriage within our culture, Nigerian setting or Yoruba setting. You have to understand the peculiarity here. In this part of the world, the marriage is not just about two people in love. I love Queen B and we get married. That's not what marriage is about. Sorry, I'm not, you know, I'm just So it's not just about that. It's about our two families also getting married.
Yeah.
That is a very, very significant part of marriage in this part of the world. I will tell you what happened with my parents. My both parents are Yorubas, or my dad of blessed memory. But my dad is from, as a matter of fact, until sometime in the mid-90s, we were all from Ondo State. But then Ekiti State was established. But my mother leaned more towards the Kogi side. Her dad was from Ekiti and her mom from, you know, the Yoruba-speaking part of Kogi. But she grew up as a Kogi woman. She didn't grow up as an Ekiti woman. Now, this was a problem, a very, very catastrophic and cataclysmic kind of problem you can never imagine. Because in my hometown, back in the days, they didn't have this water, this toilet WC that we have now. You know, they have the pit latrine. And it was some people who later became Kogi people that used to work in my hometown to help them clean, do farming, cleaning, empty your pit latrine and everything. So there was a class kind of thing that if you are from that part of the country, you feel you are superior to those people. They grew up with that mindset. My mom did not come from exactly that place, but when they hear that this person is from Kogi, they didn't say any different. My grandmother did not say any different. From the beginning of the marriage till my grandmother died, they were like this. There was nothing. If my mom wears clothes away, she will say that's how those people will dress. If she eats in a certain way, she will say that's how they eat. If my mom give birth to a child, and that child at that point, is not growing to, say, my husband's family, they are giants. This short child is from Kogi. It's the Kogi blood that made this child to be short like this. There was almost nothing that we could do that made sense. In fact, that thing affected the children. She was seeing us from that same level. My younger brother was fortunate to be a split replica of my father, and he quickly started growing tall. So when she sees him, it's like, oh, this is my father, this is my husband. But me, see his eyes.
My.
It looks like people from his mother's village, that it became a serious problem, and we the children, we entered a problem that we knew nothing about. I'm not saying because of that you don't marry from one tribe or the other. I'm just trying to say that there's a lot of education when you are marrying from another tribe. You have to do your homework.
Yes, your
You
research.
have to resolve every misunderstanding that may exist between the families. It's better you have that decision, except you want to get married and relocate to the United Kingdom.
If they will find you there.
If you will get married and stay here, and one day grandma comes to stay with you to raise children,
Okay.
those things.
That's
will
when you feel a lot of
Absolutely.
Mr. Shea, I don't know, what are the challenges that you feel that can people do marry from different tribe experience? Because there is no how. Even people that are from the same tribe go don't talk of somebody that went
from
to
another tribe.
What are those challenges that you feel like they can?
Thank you so much. I wanted to buttress his story because I have another true life story.
Okay.
And this question brings home the story I'm about to share. Because when we are alluding to the fact that you can intermarry, we should also consider the flip side. Like he said, the people, our parents that say don't intermarry, they have their reasons, right? I'm going to come to your question. One of the reasons why they could say don't intermarry is because in their own understanding, when you marry from your tribe, you will grow together. You will understand yourself, and because of that, there will be peace. Culturally, as Nigerians, as Yoruba people, which is my tribe. So, however, that may not be the case all the time, right? Like I said earlier, if there is love conquers all things. Let me now come back to your question and relay my story. I have a close family, very close family. The husband is Yoruba. The wife is from the eastern part of Nigeria. So they came together, they met during NYC, they loved each other, they got married, they started raising children. The wife, though, understood Yoruba, but did not like Yoruba language. So she would not speak
like
Yoruba.
the man, but you don't like
You
his
like the
language.
She would not speak Yoruba at all.
His love is blind.
The man is a core Yoruba man who would love his children to speak his language. So the woman, naturally women are closer to the children than the men.
Exactly.
The man will want to go out, fend for the family.
Some men are very close.
Okay,
to
that's
women.
another topic. Okay, but generally speaking.
Yes.
So generally women are closer to the children. So little by little, the children are picking
The
Igbo
language.
The man was like, no, my children must speak Yoruba language.
Oh la la.
So eventually, the children are now grown-ups. They don't understand either Igbo or Yoruba language. So the man now regrets that his children does not understand any Nigerian language.
Wow.
Well, that's another.
So these are the issues. If you want to intermarry, you must count the costs. like you said, sir, if you want to relocate abroad, yes, I mean, culturally over there, maybe all these languages do not matter, everybody to him or herself. But when you are in this climb, where your family members will come, where neighbors will interact with you,
yes.
they will even think there's something wrong with you if your children cannot speak your language. So,
Really?
So
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Does your children know how to speak Yoruba?
They know how to speak Yoruba
They know how
to
to
some
speak.
extent. Yes, they do. We ensure.
or they understand.
I
at
don't.
least.
I don't
That-
even.
they can't
If
speak.
not,
I don't
if
even
not,
condone.
How many children knows how to speak their dialect as we speak?
Now Yoruba
Because
is
I'm
not
guilty.
even the dialect, though. You know.
So what?
So
Yoruba in
I'm
general.
from Ondo State. Now my dad, he would speak Owo to his brothers and his mom. My mom will speak Ekiti to our people. I ended up not being able to speak any of the two.
Wow.
I could only speak the
Normal
general
Yoruba.
Yoruba because I grew up in
Which
Ibadan.
is enough anyway.
It's not enough. It's not enough because when I
By the
get
time they want to
home,
carry
I'm
you,
like,
like,
"Woshe o,
you not be
ahokun
looking
bami,
like-
kabo, erubo, kawa, kinikan, ketiri." If you give them an answer,
not
they
be
look at you
looking.
like,
Ah.
if you give an answer, they don't know what they're
yeah.
saying.
Yes,
But that's not the answer in my in Owo.
Okubaye.
That's not the
Really?
answer. That's not.
Yeah.
Keti or
That's
son yo.
so-
It's not even
That one
KT
is
that you are
Ondo.
saying.
Ah.
You are saying something.
Aye,
That's one.
mafuge.
I'm telling
That
you.
one
You
is actually
see,
from Ondo.
you see, I had to start
dialect.
picking
It's
one
Ondo.
language, one things after I became an adult. In fact, I will see a 5-year-old laughing when I try to speak. She will laugh. You know, one of my brother's kids,
Wow.
I was trying to even manage. The girl laughed and laughed and laughed, and I was like, "See my life. Look at this."
Yeah.
Even this 5-year-old is laughing at me. That was what happened because my dad is from Owo and my mother from Ekiti.
That's we did the same tribe, you know.
We did the same
It's
tribe.
Same tribe.
So,
That's Yoruba.
So,
Sorry, okay,
so to
continue.
continue on my thoughts, you were asking what problems can
Yes,
erupt from
yes.
such relationship. I mentioned language is one thing. Food.
Ha.
I'll go back to this family.
Thank you, sir. I like this topic.
I'll go back to that family. The man, being a typical Yoruba man, would like
Pounded yam.
a 40 roll.
Let me make job.
And you will agree with me that the way Yoruba woman will prepare
Prepare.
efo is different from the way an Igbo woman
Yes.
Give it to the Igbo people.
prepare efo.
Give it to them.
It's not Igbo, it's Igbo.
It's
It's
actually-
Igbo.
It's Yoruba people that call them Igbo. It's Igbo,
It's
yes.
actually Igbo.
It's Igbo.
Eh.
Not
It's
Igbo.
actually Igbo.
It's
Eh.
Is even the Yoruba
They
that
call it
turned it
Igbo.
It's
It's
Igbo.
Ah,
Yeah,
IB,
Emperor is right.
IBO, but it's
Yes,
IBO,
it's Igbo.
Igbo.
Yes.
Igbo.
Emperor,
Oyigbo.
Shilang.
Oyigbo.
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 Okay, I see.
So, the maturity has a role to play in such a home. And the home I'm talking about is over 20 years, to the glory of God.
Wow.
But because of maturity. If there's no maturity on the part of the husband and on the part of the wife, there will be friction. Take for instance, the husband's sister comes in and the husband is like, my wife, just hold on, let my sister cook because I prefer IFO to the IFO you will cook.
Ah, that's serious.
So if the woman is not matured,
Yeah,
there will be
take it.
friction.
Yeah.
I have an example,
I
you
won't
know,
collect.
This is
that
a
is
true life
similar.
scenario.
Yes, something happened to me that is similar to what you said. You know, my dad as an woman, you know, he liked, when he was alive, he liked pounded yam so much. 365 days a year, he would eat pounded yam for at least 350.
Wow.
320 every evening, pounded yam, you know. So he came to my house, he came to visit me, and he came, he said I should show him to his room. He went to his room, carried his newspaper, and was reading, and said, my wife went to meet her. Daddy, what will you eat, sir? He said, I want pounded yam. My wife looked at my face.
Who wants to find
Where
you?
would she get that from?
And I now, when she left, I went back to meet her. I said, Daddy, in our house, we actually don't have pestle and mortar. So can we
Yeah,
do
processor.
pando for you? He was
Pando,
doing his
okay.
2 fingers like this.
No.
He said, if you people don't have pounded yam, don't worry, I'm okay like this thing.
Indirect, you're telling you. You want to
But
start
didn't you know he was going to make that request?
I was not thinking about it, so we had to run to my landlady, my able landlady. What she
Mortar
uses to
and
pound
The
pepper.
small one, yes.
Pepper.
The small one.
Mortar.
That was what
I can see you.
we borrowed, and thank God it was my younger brother's marriage. So thank God my younger brother was there. He just did like this. They entered into the kitchen. They entered and pounded yam came out. So my father had pounded yam. I said, hey. The man I say all manner of things. He didn't even bother to ask who made it. My brother.
As far as he has
actually-
eaten the
Exactly,
it's okay.
exactly. So my brother saved the day.
Wow.
Guys.
So it's important. It's important, really.
The food, the language, the food.
food. What other thing?
One day, what of when you have an occasion in that place and you have to meet with the family? You don't know how to greet them. You don't know their expectation.
Yeah, courtesy.
You don't know
That-
what's in their culture.
This thing you just mentioned is even the worst part of it. Let me permit you to use that word, because they believe that you are our wife, and culture varies. In some parts of Yoruba land, when you are the yawo, especially when you are the wife of the first child, you are expected to take care of everyone. Make sure that everybody is fine. And if you are just this, these things and composure, madam, you are this career person and you just like, this is all ghetto for me. Things like that. They say, ọmọ yẹn má bàjẹ́ o, ọmọ yẹn bàjẹ́, ìyàwó ẹ̀ bàjẹ́ gan ni o. Ìwọ ló máa di ẹ̀, àwọn family ẹ̀ sọ pé mo bàjẹ́. Our family is
The
a
definition of respect, it varies across culture.
Exactly.
What you call, just imagine that in my hometown, my grandmother used to say something of blessed memory. She would say that every good deeds that your people did for your people, was a waste. Because it doesn't matter what you do for them, they will say it's a gift. They say obum. And that obum, I don't know what it means in their own language. It's like an insult. So they just
gift me.
they just feel embarrassed that I've been sweating for you. This is all you could say. Exactly. They were expecting you to say thank you. What they want is thank you. They don't want you to say it's a gift. When you say it's a gift, it's an insult to them. They expect you to say that thank you, and they'll be happy that okay. Exactly. They don't want you to feel entitled. You see? So the definition of respect varies across
different
tribes.
This thing I said, I mentioned, I have my reasons for it too, and that is the reason why. And the women are always, the wives are always at the receiving end. I've seen situations whereby
no, men are also at the
no, it's always the women that
it's
are
on both sides.
It's on both
Please.
sides, because
how can it be on both sides?
Yes,
Please.
that times, okay, the man might not
No,
understand.
it cannot be on both. Wait,
I have
Babisam
received
supports
it
me
before. Which
Oh,
Babisam is supporting?
It's on both sides.
See, let me tell you something.
No.
There has been an
Side.
occasion.
No, it
They are
depends.
more at the receiving end. Let's put
You have never been on the receiving side, sir. I have been there. I have been there where I entered a place. I did not know who was who. I did not know that this person is my wife's auntie. But, they are in my in-laws' place. So I went around. I had to prostrate to everybody one by one. And I went to sit down. Yeah, I did that. Yoruba culture. I prostrated to everybody. I greeted them. I went to sit. After like 30 minutes, someone looked at me.
What were they expecting you to do?
Someone looked at me. I said, I know this face. Is this not this person's husband? They said yes. He said, and you went to sit like that. I said, Mommy, when I came in, I prostrated to. He said, when you now prostrate to greet me, and so what? You did not tell me who you are. I did not know who was prostrating. You did not even ask of anything.
You need to make that introduction. You have to introduce yourself.
In our own expectation was that she expected me to ask, how are you doing? I should ask about the members of our family, because somehow we are related. I did not even know who I was greeting, but I just wanted to be a respectful in-law. I went there lying flat.
You should have even saved that to yourself.
Did you know that as the old ones were taking it, the younger ones too were also amplifying
Can
it.
you imagine?
Then I got embarrassed. I just did like this. I said, this one too.
You
shall
know
pass.
And you know, all these tribal differences has given this result where, as from generations to generation, tribal qualities have been lost. So we have this, we have a generation of children now that they don't even care about tribe. They don't even know their language. They don't know their dialect. They're just there living their life. Some are even in foreign countries. They don't even know how to even greet the Yoruba language. And somebody once said on social media that in the next 10-15 years, we that some languages may in the next 50 years
Extinction.
some languages may go into extinction, as well as the cultures and traditions of it will go into extinction. Then we won't even know. But for me, the downside is, even if people marry intertribe and all of those things, we should be able to sustain the good part of our culture, not the bad part. Cultures have good and bad parts.
Yeah.
So, for example, if an Igbo man marries, if a Yoruba man marries an Igbo woman, the family of the man would expect that the Igbo man will kneel down to greet them, John that to greet them, and when she's coming from, they necessarily don't do that. And then there's this saying that
Yeah,
and then they
because
would
my
say
dad
that
would say that very
because
well.
they feel that they naturally don't have respect. Now, an Hausa man would stoop to greet people.
To greet.
You know, the differences there. And when an Hausa man says, those differences really goes.
It's cultural intelligence.
Yeah.
Culture. You know, at times we just make unnecessary excuses. If you are doing business and an Hausa man want to buy from you, will you buy or not? Will you sell or not? You will be happy to do business. If an Igbo man comes to you, you will sell and you will say customer. Yoruba, you will also even appreciate them so long they pay for the services. But when it comes to something that you have to give, you begin to you begin to show this attitude. Do you know that when a child is young, if you take a 3-year-old girl from Ibadan or Lagos to Europe, and this child lives in a place like Belgium, where they speak about 3-4 languages, that child will end up speaking both Yoruba, if you are Yoruba people, Dutch, French, and maybe a little bit of German. Yes, because at that age, language is so stressful when you are learning language.
Yeah.
Forget about the Yoruba that they taught me at school. I can speak Yoruba, whether you go to school or not, you can speak, because I'm Yoruba, right?
Yeah.
So when you are growing up, your brain is wired.
It's easier to learn.
It's easier to learn
to
language.
grow with
So that
languages.
kid in that example, those their children, if the parents had really focused on it, they would have mastered Yoruba,
Exactly. Mastered
Igbo, and
Which
English,
is
and they have
beautiful for them.
it would have been beautiful for them. I worked with someone who could speak all these languages. He was an Hausa man from Bauchi, and he could speak Hausa and Igbo. Everyone will just be looking at. Do you know that one day he went to the kitchen to take coffee, and an Igbo girl and Igbo guy, they were talking about him. Then after the girl left, he then used Igbo to speak to the guy. Told him that in this life, one has to take it easy. The guy was shocked. The guy was shocked. He was just looking at them as they were talking. So he waited for the lady to leave. Then he told the guy, in this life, one has to take it easy. He said it in Igbo. The guy was like, because he's the boss. Exactly. So a guy can speak Igbo. That's amazing.
Well, I just feel like it's always advisable, if not for love that is taking everybody. Don't be for. Sorry. I don't feel like you should just stay within the purview of
Queen B.
Is that's
Will you marry a French lady or a German, a French man or a German man, or someone a Brit?
You marry an Ogun State man.
Of course.
Why won't you stay in Ogun State? So why are you saying marry your tribe culture?
If
it is so you are ready to marry in Nigeria.
The reason being that I've seen some in parts of the country where you have to sleep with your daughter before you give them out to marriage.
Yeah, that's it. There are some cultures.
I think
All those
that was
cultures, have they not been abolished?
They are not fully
They are
abolished.
not.
They are
They
not.
are not.
Still
These are the
exist
reasons
because-
that are giving people issue.
Because it has been passed down to some people.
Yes.
And for selfish reasons.
Some
Because it
people,
benefits them.
some people even
They will
got
not
married.
with it.
They did not know until 50-something years
That they are
later
related.
that this is how they do burial in my in-laws' place. Do you understand? Because you have been enjoying your life in Lagos, suddenly
Yeah.
the guy is dead or the woman is dead.
Yeah.
And that,
The
the,
secret
the,
part
and
of
the,
the
the,
family
the reason
is
why
not
that
open.
problem
It's not
happened,
even a secret.
the reason
You
for
just
this is
didn't
because
learn
you
about it.
you don't go home. Probably
Don't
you
go
marry.
home.
Yeah.
You just
Exactly.
stay in Lagos and
So that is where if you want to marry from another tribe, do your due diligence.
Yes.
You have to know
Make
their
your
tribe, their
research.
culture, what
Everything,
they do, their
exactly.
yeah.
So you can flow with them easily. That is if it happens eventually. You know, so that at least there will be a smooth sail and everybody will be fine. And like you said earlier, count the cost before you go into such a relationship, so that everybody will be alright eventually. And if you look at a good number of marriages that have issues are marriages across tribes.
I think that love is
And
hard.
like
In
we
my
say,
heart.
like we say in our
In my
Yoruba
heart, I'm
balance,
just in love.
aya buruku ṣe fẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n àna buruku
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni o,
Ṣé
àná
ni
is the koko.
at the end of the day when your
Kàdéètì
in-laws
pọ̀.
have issues with you, it becomes a big deal. You know, a big deal. So it happened that some lady married from the east, the
North.
husband died. They now claim that the children were their children. They must take their children by their culture, by their children. And I can't leave my children with you people.
children.
Sorry, I don't
They carry
understand.
their
Can you take
father's
that
blood.
again? Can you take that again?
Some lady married from the east. The husband died, and they were going to take the children because they
From
said
her.
it's their
That's
blood.
the culture.
That's part of their culture.
Culture.
So I
They will take the children from the wife.
yes,
I'll be the one to raise the children.
I realized
The
that
family.
even
Oh, okay.
within their tribe, they have different kinds of culture.
Yeah.
Anambra has the way they do things. Enugu has the way they do things. Imo has the way they do they
Even
do
about
things. You know,
it too.
Abia has the way they do things. The
So you have to find out.
So you have to find out. So the tribe that I talked about, the tribe that actually by history of Nigeria eats human being, Isi Alangoa. That's part of.
Don't
that
go into
tribe.
that.
No.
Easy
I
and
have a friend
easy.
from there when we were in school. We used to say it a lot.
That was a long time
And he
ago.
was saying-
We don't
he
know
said-
what is the
he
current.
He said it was part of their culture, but he himself does not
It
know
was.
if they still do it.
Exactly.
But they never bothered to travel to their hometowns.
Most of those barbaric cultures have been abolished.
So these are abolished. I don't believe so.
Most-
No, that's why I don't
Because-
like to talk about the extremes. We have some other things.
Westernization
Don't
and
even call it
civilization.
barbaric. Wait, sir. We can't just call people's culture barbaric.
Eating people.
No. I said those
their
are the
culture.
extremes. Let's not talk
Okay,
about
that's the
those
extremes.
extremes. We don't come across them every day. It's not an everyday
okay.
thing. There's other everyday things that we come across. Someone husband dies and something you just start to get
Use
some
water
shock.
to bathe
They
and-
say oh you have to bathe some water, or they say
Shock
that
your
there
head.
is somebody else, his
Yeah.
younger brother has to become your next
Husband.
husband.
Yes.
You know, some other things. You know,
Yeah.
do you know
Yeah.
that some of those things are actually not a big deal? I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
a woman, but well,
It's a big
Big deal.
yeah, all right,
It's a big
all
deal.
right, it's a big
Yes.
deal. It's a big deal. But you know that there are reasons why some of those cultures were even put in place in the first place. You know,
What are the reasons? It's because
Wait,
of
wait.
their level of understanding.
And
Wait,
that's what
sir.
makes it
Most
barbaric.
no,
Okay.
you don't know
That's what
everything,
makes it
sir.
barbaric.
You don't know everything, sir. I give you an instance. There is a culture where if a man dies, they allow his wife is passed on to his younger brother or someone like that. And any child that comes out of that relationship does not belong to the man, that it belongs to the
the
late
first-
man.
to
Yes,
the
the
late
man who
husband.
paid the bride price.
Yeah.
They just want someone to carry on his legacy. They want to carry on his legacy. It was the one that paid the bride price for that
Would you
woman.
approve such
According to-
practice?
According to that culture, I don't know.
No, personally, I'm asking.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
Like,
are
would
you
you-
trying to say that let's say a man dies, then the wife is
His
handed
younger
over to his
brother.
younger brother. They
Yes.
do that a lot.
If the younger
That's
brother
in the
can
Bible.
take care and is not
That's
married,
in the Bible.
especially if he's not
That's
married.
in the Bible days.
Not in
Not
the
in
Bible
the
days,
Bible.
oh.
I know. I'm saying the origin of what you have just told us now is in the Bible.
People created that culture without even knowing the Bible. They just use their common sense to say that because some people went
Yeah,
to
even
war,
before-
Yeah.
they left their
before
wives
the
behind,
Bible comes.
and they died. And Akintunde is gone. And who is going to carry on his legacy? So they pass his wife to somebody
younger
else
brother.
who start giving birth to Akintunde's children.
So really,
That is-
really, does
yeah.
the children belong
Why
to
If he
Akintunde?
doesn't have
Then
a
Akintunde-
child,
That is if the
They
wife
will be answered
agreed,
Akintunde's name.
No, sir. I'm asking now. The children, do they belong to the Akintunde?
That is the reason why they want someone that shares a similar
that
DNA.
is one of
Yeah.
the reasons
To be
that we
That's
know.
why I said.
There may be other reasons.
yeah,
Sir,
behind
that's
that.
why I said those practices, as good as they may sound culturally, most of them are
Yeah.
no longer fashionable. Let me
Yes,
put it
I'm
that way.
buried.
Akintunde is dead. So if Akintunde's brother
Otilo,
inherits
Otilo ni-
Akintunde's wife and they are having children,
Now, let me say it this way.
Is that not
Let me
incest?
say
No, it's not.
this way. One, there are cases where they would ask the woman if she wants to stay, keep her name.
Yeah, or
She might
wants
will
to
say
go.
yes or no.
It's not
If she says
optional
no,
sometimes, though.
she leaves. The other cases, even the woman may even want it. Probably prior to that time, the woman has had the rapport with the younger brother. The woman will now stay.
Is that
You know, and say,
real?
okay, let me still be there. So these things varies according to human interest. So we cannot say, oh, this is the way it looks in particular. Because if we now go to the core of the issue to now dig deep and find out why the woman stay, when some people now tell you the reasons why, you will not know, you know, so probably these are things that, yes, they are cultural, but people embrace them for their own personal selfish reasons as well.
In
And
the
then
olden
that's
days-
why the culture may still linger or may still be there. And you'll be shocked that at this time and age, some people will still talk about it because they have a selfish motive. Yeah,
Sir,
ulterior
I ask a
motive.
question. I ask a
Yes.
question. This particular one we are talking about, is
Yes.
it still in vogue? I'm
I
asking,
don't know.
it is not. It's no longer fashionable.
It's
I
hard
can't
to
say
know.
that.
It's
What
see,
you are
it's
saying,
hard
you can't say
to
it for a
know.
fact.
Sir,
You- that's
you
another
You can't say
thing.
it for a fact. Because all you know
Yeah.
is what is
I
around
know,
you.
I know.
Around
some.
You
that.
can't say it for a fact. You have not
We
been to other
can't
places.
say it for a fact, though.
Yes,
So-
you can't say it for a
so,
fact.
And you know people don't die every day, and you take someone back
There
home.
and here they are
To
G's.
know how
So,
far it
so
is.
maybe as you
Maybe
ask,
we'll do a vox pop. We'll go to
As
sit and
you
be
ask
asking,
a
do
woman,
you have to do it?
how-
Then you will know that this is
how
still
many
exists.
women will lose their husband and they will want to go to their husband's brother as a wife?
They are grieving.
How many
Esther,
women?
Ah.
It's not
Even
always
after,
that.
after
I will say it in a
It's
phrase.
not always
See,
immediately you say
people are
no.
deep.
Inuji.
People are deep.
I know
So
that
if
in
you
the
see
olden
somebody
days,
accepting something, they have their deep down reasons that they'll never talk about. And I'll give you these two examples because I have heard of one. Originally, the woman and the younger brother, they have something at the background.
Can you imagine?
Back
Maybe
then.
they're even the one that connect
No.
to kill the man.
No.
What? Eh?
So-
Why we say
Sometimes
Because
it
we're not
happens
there.
like that.
So when the man
But
passed,
not in
and they
all.
brought up this suggestion, it was good for them.
Let's
That-
even
that- that's one in
imagine
a
that
million.
they did not have anything before. They
Before.
can be cordial.
They can be called
Ah,
their.
because
can
it
be
takes
cordial.
they can be, what I mean by
Ere kila Dabegun ṣe.
no, maybe I'm not using the right word. What I'm just saying is that at least you will not want to. There are some men that are just like this man. Even if it's with me, only me and this guy, or
Yeah.
this, I will
I don't
never
mind.
have anything
Yeah.
to do with
To
this
do,
person.
yeah.
But there are some people that you think, I think this is a responsible man. This is the kind of man.
So what I'm trying to say is based on people's choices. Tradition thrives on people's choices.
Many of the time we are just talking about just the tradition. We don't even know what widows go through.
Exactly.
The loneliness that come with that chapter of life. We don't know.
And the
And there's some that
and
when
the
you
neglect.
lose, when their son dies, you dare not marry any other person, because they will just tag you that
So
you are the
culture?
one that killed their son.
Our normal.
So culture varies from people to people and their
Yes.
choices.
so should we now? I'm sorry, I'm asking too much questions.
No,
No,
please.
it's okay.
So, Alpha.
So should we now say, because of culture now, that culture should now determine who I should marry? Let me rephrase the question. I like a woman from I didn't want to mention the name of this town. From
Ekiti.
Ugeb. Ugeb is a place in
You
in
just
Cross
broke
River
my heart, sir. You
that,
just said
that we
Ekiti.
used to hear that they used to hit people. I don't think they do that anymore. I like a woman from that place, and because of their culture, which I don't personally like. Should I say because of that thing, I won't marry that woman? When I know that my interface with our relatives will only be minimal. I may not even go to our hometown more than once or twice.
It can't be minimal. Foul.
Hey,
Hey.
you are setting a trap for yourself.
But wait, oh,
No.
in a marriage, marriage is between a man and a woman.
You say?
Wait now.
You
wait,
say
let me-
it's
Now,
between
there
a
is
man
that.
and
Let
the
me-
fa-
I
and
want to learn. I want to learn.
Yeah, land.
Yes, they are family members, but family members are third party. Do you
No.
agree?
I know, but you can be
They are
faced.
third party.
They will.
Wait, when your father-in-law in that relationship,
Yes, sir.
when your father-in-law passes on, what happens? You will not go when they say, I
I
want to
will
go and
go.
bury.
I will go. But my question is, should I say because of my maybe 1 week that I will go to their village, I should not marry that woman because of our culture?
No, that's an instance now. Wait, okay. What of before Papa died? Is our younger brother is getting, our younger sister is getting married?
I will go.
You will go.
I will go. So,
Mama becomes attained 70.
I will go.
There is a traditional ceremony.
go.
You will go. Papa, so how can you now say that?
You don't have
minimal?
it.
It's
There
not
is minimal.
It's
What
not
is
minimal.
minimal?
What happens
It's
to
not minimal.
Them
From year
coming.
1 to year
Else
50.
you are setting trap
but
for yourself. That's just
the
it.
day-to-day relationship now, for me, I think that's what matters.
Ah.
Someone I will live with. They will tell you that before you marry, this person, you want to live with this person forever. So if you can get along with that person, irrespective of the cultural background of that person, if you are able to cope, like we talked about due diligence, you have checked the background, and you think that you can cope, I think the marriage should
I'm not
For
sure.
this reason, shall a man
Leave.
live?
Sir,
No,
You are not saying that.
When
you are not
we,
saying that tribe should not marry you.
No.
you are not saying that.
No.
I don't think I resonate with what you said though, because
Okay.
whoever you marry, the family they came from has strong hold on them.
You know what you just said?
They have
now?
a
What
strong
you just
hold on
said
them,
now
oh.
is your own perspective as a man. What
Yes.
about the
Yes,
woman?
the woman.
The woman might need. You know, everybody have different support system.
Yeah.
Yes.
To some women, they cannot detach from their family. In
At
fact,
all.
if you tell me that
Yes.
you want to marry my daughter, I have plenty daughters by God's grace. You want to marry my daughter, and once you marry my daughter, I should just wave bye bye. That's the
I should
end
not
of it, oh.
interfere.
I will say, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You should
Oh.
say your own.
We
The
Well,
question
now-
is,
Sorry, sir.
sir. The question is when they marry your own daughter too. You wait by to her. You don't see her
Bye,
again.
bye,
So when you marry your own
forever.
sister too, you don't see her again.
Yes.
So this conversation
You
is
see?
getting
What is good for the
interesting.
goose is not good
Yeah,
for the
it's
gander.
It's getting interesting. You said something, sir, that some women don't get detached from their families.
Exactly.
Don't you think that's a problem in itself?
It's not a
No,
problem.
it's their support system.
So,
So-
sir, can you
so-
answer this question? When your daughter marry, you don't say again, she has detached you.
I will see her, but my level of involvement with her, my level of engagement with her will not be as if when she was under my roof.
Of
She's
course.
not-
Of course now.
So that's why I said it is.
365 days make a year. 3,650 days make 10 years. You don't know how many all these thousands of days. Interactions upon interactions.
There are-